Okay, so welcome to the April 2026 quarterly meeting. We have quite some topics on it today, but I don't think it's going to be super long unless you have a lot of questions. So the first thing we'll move to is the first slide, and that was asking for any library updates. If you have any, go ahead and post them in the chat, or you can unmute. We'll give you a moment to think about that. And also, too, if you think of it later, we can read it at the end as well. Not a big deal. Okay. Like I said, if you have anything you think about it, put it in the chat. We'll get back to it. We'll go ahead and go to the next slide. Nikki's up first.
Oh man, the pressure. All right. You can go ahead and go to the next slide, please. All right, so group purchases so far this month, or recently. Book page was renewed the beginning of the month, I believe. Or it will be the beginning of May, so it will go through next April. We did have some libraries join our group with that, so that was nice. We've got almost, I think all but about five libraries now are in our book page group. So getting discounts on print and on the digital uh, subscriptions. So that's really cool. Um, Vox Books coming up. Orders are due in May 8th. They're running a special on that too. Send your orders to me at Lakeland. We are going to get an order together once we get over $1,000, which I believe we already are. We get 10% off and we get free shipping. So those will ship to Lakeland and Tisha will distribute those and send them out to the libraries as they come in. Another thing we've been talking about lately is the read-along trading cards. I've been talking to some of the youth group, I'm sorry, the youth librarians about these as possible prizes, giveaways for the summer reading program. I put out there some different choices. The packs that got the highest votes were the Dinosaurs and Adventures in the Wild. So I'm going to follow up with some info on those. We're going to do a group order on those too, because they come as like a set of 300 cards for like $450. So rather than having one library get stuck with 300 cards, all the same, we are going to do a group purchase and we can split them up. So that way, if somebody only needs 100 cards or somebody needs a whole great big bunch, we're all going to get them together and split them out. So that's coming up probably in May. So if we could have the next slide, please. All right. So I also this month talked to James. He's our regional rep for Hoopla, and he wanted me to let you know about the Loop. This is their blog that they put out. It's straight from Hoopla. It's for patrons and staff, just to keep you informed with what's going on with Hoopla. It also offers tips and tricks. There's a get started video for patrons or even for staff that's new to Hoopla, to using Hoopla, can check out. Gives you a little walkthrough and some cool ways that you can search or different ways to use Hoopla. So take a look at that. And you can also direct your patrons to that. If you would like to have the poster sent out to you, I can do that, that you can print it up. It's got a little QR code on it there for your for people to just zap right there at the counter. So let me know if you'd like to see that, and I'd be happy to send it out to you. Thanks. That's all for me.
Okay, I know I don't look like Jeff normally does. He's not in the office today, so I'm passing along a message from him. The cataloging department is still working on moving graphic novels from serials to monographic records. So if any other libraries would like this, just let Jeff know and he can do that for you. Everybody's been working on that here right along in the cataloging department. So we can move on to the next slide. Okay, I'm up next. We can go to the next one. And it has a picture of what might be one of the cutest cats in the world. Of course, he was mine. But anyway, about the inventory, thank you for all your effort. And that project is wrapping up. There's no need to keep scanning new items once you've finished your inventory. You can if you want to, it's just extra work. So, like I said, you don't have to keep doing it if you don't want to. Next slide. Okay, shifting to the ILS evaluation project. We have been working on this diligently with the committee, and they have too, for the past year. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what happened with this, just so everybody can know. So we formed the committee last April, and we got a representatives from all different sizes and types of, well, not types, you're all public libraries, but we had people who worked in all different departments, had different levels of experience. We even had two directors on the committee, and we met several times a month. So we started by talking about what did we want to have in an ILS. So I brought some documentation from other sources. They brought in their opinions. We brought in things that members had told us that we needed to. So we spent a couple months coming up with that. We also did some research on what was out there at the time. So basically market research. So in July, we started writing an RFI, which means request for information. So we included our requirements, information about our cooperative, the things we are looking for in an ILS. We decided on 5 different vendors to invite. In addition to these 5, we posted it publicly on our website so other vendors could compete if they wanted to. But based on our research, we did identify 5 vendors that we thought would be the most likely to fit the cooperative's needs. So that included Innovative's Polaris product, Cersei Dynex products, and TLC products. We also invited 2 open sources and managed like companies who manage open source. They were both based on Koha, and it was Equinox and Bywater. Bywater responded that they didn't wish to respond to the RFI, which is fine, and Equinox was not able to because of staff limitations. So we looked at the 3 big ones. We invited them to demos in November. So we had the 3 demos. We created rubrics to judge what they were looking at and or what we were looking at with them and had their presentations. And the committee decided to invite Polaris from Innovative back for another demo in January of 2026. So we saw that. And then the committee decided that they wanted to get a quote from Polaris and also a quote from TLC to have a comparison. So we did that. Carol and I met with Polaris and TLC to get more information about the quotes. And then in March, everybody in the cooperative was invited to a demo from Polaris. And if you see on the screen, there's a link to what the demo is. I sent that out to everybody, but you can also look at it. We also spent some time. It's still up there. There's a Polaris question and answer form that people can put in their questions, and anybody can view the questions and answers through those links as well. So that's a good thing to check out if you're curious. And the following week, the committee met and they unanimously agreed to recommend Polaris to advisory and to the board. There is a sandbox available to test out. So that means a sandbox means it's not a real server on Polaris, but it acts like a real one would. It's not real library data, basically. But you can go and test it out. If you don't have, I sent that in an email too, but if you need more information, just write to me. I do suggest go giving it a try, taking a look. You can save stuff in there. You're not going to hurt anything. And I did tell Innovative staff, I was teasing them a little bit, and one of their test patrons, I did save a picture of a kitten. And so I said, if they're showing it to another client, they might wonder why a person is a kitten. She goes, oh, well, only you guys can see it. So if you find the kitten patron, have fun. Anyway, we also did bring in some of the members of the committee, in addition to the two directors who were on it. And they came to the advisory council in April meeting following the board meeting, and they shared some of their thoughts on the process, why they voted the way they did, and what they thought about Polaris. So we've been trying to give everybody feedback and information as we've gone along because this is a big decision for the cooperative. As far as the next steps go, Carol, do you want to cover that or do you want me to continue? I don't mind either way.
Go ahead, please.
Sure. So, what's going to happen is all of the directors are going to be asked for a vote by ballot, and that will happen in May. So, they can vote yes or no. Should we move forward with Polaris? And then, if it's in the positive, then the board would just have a final vote to solidify the financial decision. And we also are having the lawyers review the contract. Just that's a standard thing to do, just to make sure all parties are protected. So those are the things that would happen if the membership and board votes yes. Then starting in, well, as soon as the vote goes through and everything's signed, so that could be June, July timeframe, then we will start on the migration plans. We have thought about some things here at Lakeland already because there are so many moving parts that it's good to have some conversations, but we've made no presumptions on what anybody will vote. So we'll see what happens, but we already yeah, we have some things, in mind already, and we will have calendars and things like that. And we will be working a lot with our members as well, to get information and to work on the migration and also to pull it pull, well, Innovative, if they're bringing on a customer for Polaris anyway, they have a queue of 11 to 12 months, and in that time the customer would be working with them to get it set up. So even if we do happen to all choose, if you all choose Polaris, it's not like it's going to happen the next day. It's a process of getting everything set up, making sure everything will work, etc. And I did have a question come in the other day that isn't in the survey of questions, a question and answer form. And it was, will things like the API for third-party vendors that are already being used be available in Polaris? And it will. And Polaris also supports SIP2. So anything with third-party vendors that you're already using, as long as it uses SIP2 or the API, it should also work in Polaris. And Innovative is one of the bigger companies out there, and they are a typical one to work with third parties because, like I said, the Innovative products are cover a lot of libraries. So that's kind of the everything that's been going on with that in a nutshell. If we can go to the next slide.
Hold on, one more thing, and
Okay.
um, we're voting next month, and the decision from the board will be in June, and it takes about a year, but we have given consideration to the fact that it will not be implemented during summer reading, just so everyone knows that if we do go through with this.
Oh, thank you. That's a very important thing to say. Yes.
Yes, you took the
Um,
words right out of my mouth too.
Yeah, and Innovative does not require that, like their queue is just 11 or 12 months. for their timing, but it can be longer than that too. So I wanted to thank all of our committee members. They have worked a lot on this. They've spent a lot of hours and they've been really thoughtful. And what was great is they've balanced the needs of their library and also what's good for the whole cooperative. So I think they did a wonderful job with that. If you work with any of these folks, tell them thank you so much for representing your library and working together for the cooperative. If you have any more questions, you can unmute, you can put them in the chat box. And also, if you think of something later, putting them into that question and answer document is a great way of doing it. They are public, so because if you have that question, somebody else might too. Okay. So I have a question here from Rachel. It's unrelated. It's just since the ALA conference is in Chicago again this year, will Lakeland organize another Saturday bus trip? Do I know?
We kind of polled the library directors and there wasn't a lot of interest, and I am not available that weekend. I have a um, personal commitment that I have to attend to. I'm going to a wedding and I'm kind of excited about it. So, but I think there will probably be people driving, and maybe we could connect people to either train schedules to go together or carpooling. But no, there will not be a bus this year. I'm sorry. Woodlands, I think, is having a bus. So if you really want to do that, let me know and I can connect you with Kate and Drady, who I believe they're doing a bus from Woodlands.
And just as a other piece of information to have. I just literally midnight today. I got back from Chicago from the IUG conference and I took a train and a bus down there too. So if your preference or you're not available to drive, those might be options too to look at. Okay. If there aren't any questions about this, then we'll go ahead and move on. And like I said, that question and answer document is still available. You're welcome to add things to it. Okay, Amber.
I lost my mouse, sorry. Um, I don't really have a whole lot to go over right now. I am very deep in the thick of remediating our website to be in line with the WCAG 2.1 AA guidelines to comply with the new Department of Justice ruling for accessibility guidelines. So this is just the process I go through for our website. I'm working on documents right now. My best friend works for Civic Plus, so I'm kind of mimicking their process for a lot of it. Once I get done with our stuff, our website, our documents, we are going to look at how I can get that information to all of you. I will email everyone when our documents are compliant. So any documents of ours that you have on your website, you can update. I am 2/3 of the way through with them as of right now. It's a lot of PDF tagging. The deadline for us is next Friday. Most of you, your deadline is basically a year from next Friday, so you have time. But these are the tools and how I use them. We will send the slides out after this presentation. We'll send them out with the recording. So take notes or take note after we send the slides out. But these are the general standard field standard tools for accessibility checkers. Yeah, that's all I really have. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay, next up, please. And that will be Carol.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to go over our changes to delivery. If you are a library director, you've heard some of this, but I think it's good to repeat. And then I'm happy to answer questions. So last year, Terry Cross, our facilities and delivery manager, who's been with us, goodness, I think like 16, 18 years, um, told me his intent to retire on April 30th. But he didn't want to make it public until this year. So he announced it on March 1st. So there were a lot of moving parts with this, and we analyzed our options. And what we have decided to do is we are going to outsource the drivers and the trucks aspect of our delivery service. We will be using same day delivery. They will be taking over our trucks and will provide drivers as of May 1st, utilizing the same 5-day schedule that is currently in place. Same day delivery is one of two companies that we looked at. They are also the company that Kent District Library has used for the last several years. They are experienced with library delivery, and so we felt that it was a really good choice. They also do not use contract workers. They have regular employees, and that makes sure, to me, that provides more stability, that these are actual employees and not just contract workers where they can come and go. They are hiring 2 drivers that will work specifically for Lakeland, and then there will be for our delivery meeting, and then they will have backup drivers when there are absences. Our dedicated drivers, Ron White and Jeff Ryers, have been provided with early vesting in their retirement program in MERS. So they will be eligible for retirement, but they will no longer work for Lakeland as of April 30th. This was a very, very tough decision, but with Terry leaving and with the way the market is right now, both the job market, the cost of healthcare, et cetera, this was something that we felt would be best for the long-term stability and sustainability for Lakeland. The sorting of materials will continue at Lakeland by the Lakeland staff. We have promoted Tisha to be the lead sorter, and yesterday we just hired an additional sorter who will start next Thursday. We will have the same bags, the same bins, the same schedules, the same routes. The trucks will look a little different at the beginning, and then because we are selling our trucks, so they will be same day trucks. And then they are ordering some special trucks that will probably come mid-June or so. So you'll see 2 different kinds of trucks. There'll be a temporary truck that they use, and then they'll have the permanent trucks. Ron and Jeff will train the new drivers at the end of the month and for that last week in April, and then the new drivers will take over May 1st. I will be the contact person for this project, and then we will figure out as we move forward how we will communicate with the drivers if there are some schedule changes. But for right now, instead of you going through Terry, as you have for many years, you'll go through me for now. We are trying to do this so that it is a very smooth transition, but with all transitions like this, there are bound to be bumps in the road, but that's why my contact information, either my cell phone or my email address, I want you to call me with any of your questions or concerns. We want to have the same reliable and exemplary service that we provide now. As I said, this will be the same routes, it'll be the same bins, it'll be the same bags, and there will be no additional charge for this service in the next couple of years. What will happen as we move either to a new ILS or we reassess the ILS we have, if we stay with the ILS, some of these costs will shift, but in the long run, this will have cost savings to it. So there was both a financial aspect to this and also just a sustainability aspect. These trucks, we have to buy new trucks every 2 or 3 years. These trucks are $60,000 a pop. We just had one of the trucks repaired and it was a $6,000 repair. So this is a pretty costly service for us, and this will actually reduce some of our costs, and it with hope will be the same type of consistency and exemplary service. Any questions on that? Okay. Thank
So
you.
it's a pretty short meeting today, but I'm sure you'll all be happy to get back to all the other things you were doing. Our next meeting is in July. And did you have any questions about any of this that came up? Or, and I realized, sorry, my camera was off, or anything you wanted to share from your libraries? Okay, well, you know where we are, and we're here and available for your questions um, outside of this meeting as well. So, other than that, we'll go ahead and let you go and hope you have a very good day.
I think there was a question in the chat. I don't know if it was addressed. I can't remember.